Does the dog die at the end of Good Boy? Let's talk about the ending to the new horror film because I think there's something else going on that's far more interesting I'm not seeing anyone else talk about. Obviously, spoilers for Good Boy ahead. By the way, the dog lives at the end. Let's just get that out of the way because, again, there's something else going on. Good Boy sees Indy, the dog, and his human, Todd, move to a farm in the middle of nowhere. It's literally Courage the Cowardly Dog. Todd is very sick. We see this in the opening sequence, and later there's a scene where Todd is speaking with the doctor who mentions that whatever he has progressed to the point where not even experimental treatments can help him. But back to the farm. Indy starts hearing strange noises and notices a kind of humanoid figure always stretching out its hand, almost petting Indy, but then pulling back at the last second. Not only that, but Todd's entire demeanor changes. He starts acting violently toward Indy, pushes him away at one point. Bad. Bad Todd. At the end, Todd and Indy reunite, but Todd looks over and finds his dead body lying in the bed. Todd has died from whatever medical issues he was having. We see Todd's spirit get pulled by a chain by the humanoid figure from earlier, and Indy tries to save him, but Todd tells his dog, "You can't save me. You have to keep going." The thing about Good Boy is I don't think the ghosts are actually there. I don't think this is an actual ghost story. The ghosts are a metaphor for how Indy is perceiving these changes to Todd. The entire story of Good Boy is told from the perspective of a dog. We see this with low camera angles, certain stylistic flourishes like how you don't really see people's faces, and I think that extends to the ghost. Indy doesn't know that Todd is sick or has cancer, whatever he has. Indy can't comprehend that, so it's coming up with some kind of explanation for why his human is acting this way. This ties back to something Todd's sister said at the beginning of the film, where dogs can sense things that humans can't, like medical conditions. Indy can sense that something is wrong with Todd and is trying to fill in the blanks. Before Good Boy came out, everyone was concerned about whether the dog would die. It makes sense. Indy is the hero of this film. He's the main character, and the main character of horror films often die by the end. But personally, I always prefer horror endings where the main character suffers a fate worse than death. And in this case, the worst thing to happen to a dog isn't the dog dying. The worst thing that can happen to a dog is losing its best friend. Indy lives, but has to keep going, never knowing what really happened to his person.